If you watch my previous videos, you'll see that it looks like Kronos is looking more and more like he was King Anu from the planet Nibiru. And there is some more similarities actually, such as Kronos married his sister, and guess what? King Anu there married his sister Antu, or technically half sister, and I think the same goes for that. Now there's also where it says Kronos lost his throne to his son Zeus, whereas King Anu actually gave the control of Earth over drawing lots with little straws. I know it sounds stupid, but if you've watched my previous videos or done research, you'll agree with me that he actually gave Earth to Zeus, which was Enlil. And I don't think researchers with ancient Greece has pieced everything with Sumeria. I thought I'd show the results of the poll where I asked, did the Anunnaki build the pyramids? And as you can see, majority of people said yes, which is fantastic because it means people are awake. Why is it so difficult for people to understand that the ancient Greek gods were in fact the Anunnaki gods that predate the Greek gods? And that's because they don't research, in my opinion. They only research Greek, for example, whereas I research the Anunnaki and lots of different cultures, and therefore I can see the similarities and actually the correct path. So for example, Plato talks about the gods drew lots and divided the world up, and each had their own territory. The Anunnaki actually talk about drawing lots, in fact with straws. They did that a few times in their ancient texts. One is when King Anu came down about 430 thousand years ago, and Enki ended up with the Abzu, and Enlil ended up with Mesopotamia, and King Anu ended up back on Nibiru. And then they also did it again roughly 10,000 years ago, when they taught humans. They divided the land up into four. Ancient Greece, Zeus was Enlil, supreme ruler of the Anunnaki. Other names that Zeus went by was Enlil, Jupiter, etc. Yahweh means he was Enlil. Now if you break the Bible down and you see the word Lord, the Lord was Enki. Yahweh was Enlil. So next time you read it, that makes a lot more sense. I don't know why this person's done him as a darker skin, because all of them, Jupiter, Zeus and Enlil, were described as blonde with blue eyes. And they are identical because they were the same person in different places, Rome, etc. So here we've got Wikipedia saying that this is Jupiter. Look at the actual statue. I know not just Wikipedia, other sites have also got this down as Jupiter. But then you've got other sites also with the same carving saying it is Zeus. So you see they are one of the same. Before I carry on with the ancient Greece, I think it's important that you guys know why there are discrepancies between the ancient gods of Greece and the Anunnaki gods if they were one of the same. And that is absolutely so easy to tell you why. So the people that wrote about the gods in ancient Greece were doing so about 300 BC. Whereas the Anunnaki, who were the ones doing the things that they're talking about, were doing those things 400,000 years ago, not 3,000 years ago, 400,000 years ago. So the original texts for the Anunnaki is the closest you're going to get to the actual description, whereas there's a thing called Chinese whispers that once it gets down to about 3,000 years here, you know, they're making up all sorts of stuff such as babies growing out of foreheads and whatnot. So you can imagine the discrepancy between 400,000 years and 3,000 years, and that's why there is that discrepancy. I'll let you guys figure out whether or not these are the same story. So Zeus and Hera. Zeus tricked Hera into having relationships with him. He pretended he was an animal, so the story goes in ancient Greece, and forced himself upon her, and she became pregnant, and then she was asked, does she want to marry him? Obviously he was a god, she kind of had no choice, simply because of the shame that was brought upon her. But the Anunnaki version, now if you believe Enlil was Zeus, Enlil went up to Sud, who was a young, very young, too young if you know what I'm saying, girl, forced himself again upon her. She became pregnant. The Anunnaki said that does she want to marry Enlil? again because of the shame, and she said yes, she bore children just like Hera. Tell me what you think. One of the same?
Have you ever left the fridge door open and wasted food? You can now attach this small fridge door alarm to your fridge or freezer door. You can choose a setting for how long you want to wait before it beeps. It starts low, then gets louder the longer the door is open. It also works with these type of fridge freezers by placing it on top of the door. To find out more, visit fridgedoораlarm.com or buy it on eBay.